Pringles? I like me some Pringles! You know, you get like a bag of chips or something, you open the bag, like 3/4 of the bag is air. But you get some Pringle action, you know, it's distributed good. You know what I mean?
Pringles.
Did you see that can? What is that? They make Pringles in bags?
Pringles. Not just a snack, but a revolution in a can.
The pizza one's good too. Y'all like the pizza one? The pizza one's good too.
Since its debut in 1968, Pringles have literally reshaped the snack aisle.
True.
With their unmistakable saddle.
That is absolutely not a Pringle, by the way. What is this right here? Buddy, that ain't no Pringle action. I'm here to tell you right now.
Shape and iconic cylindrical can that rakes in over $3 billion every year. The genius behind this snacking marvel was Frederick Bauer, a chemist at Procter & Gamble who envisioned a solution to the common complaints about traditional potato chips. Too greasy, always broken, and half-filled bags.
I mean. Okay, yeah, see that right there? That's a real problem right there. The broken action. You know what I mean?
Seemed to be more air than chips. Frederick's mission was to create a chip that retained its shape and freshness in a package that was both convenient and stylish. His outcome was nothing short of a snacking sensation, a chip that stayed crisp and tasty.
That is not what Pringles look like, by the way, just saying.
And neatly stacked in a can that kept every piece intact.
Yo, how did you do that?
A chip that stayed crisp and tasty and neatly stacked in a can that kept every...
Dude, you know how much skill that would take to dump a can of Pringles in that order? Yo, Dane with 20 gifted subs. Yo, give me some W's for Dane with the 20 gifted subs. Yo, W Dane, for real, I appreciate you, Dane. Seriously, Dane, W Dane, thank you. What happened to the volume?
Crunch. Procter &
That's a
Gamble
Pringles
initially marketed them as Pringles Newfangled Potato Chips, and their novel appeal quickly brought some unexpected scrutiny. It soon became apparent that the name potato chip didn't quite fit the bill, since they're made with about 42% dehydrated potato flakes, not whole potatoes, and include a blend of other ingredients like rice flour and wheat starch.
And you already know what else. And a little bit of this right here. Anonymous with the 5, thank you. And a little bit of this right here. You know what I mean? Just saying.
So, consequently, in 1975, the FDA mandated they be rebranded from potato chips to potato crisps, a change that clarified labeling in North America but caused some confusion in the UK, where potato chips are traditionally referred to as
crisps.
So, what exactly goes into a Pringle if they're not?
Oh, they got some tortilla. Oh my goodness, what kind of psycho?
So, what exactly goes into a Pringle if they're not?
Who on this planet Earth is going?
So, what exactly goes into a Pringle if they're not entirely?
About 15 Pringles at once. So many people just said me, that's actually insane. Y'all do this with Pringle action? The most you can go stack in a row on Pringles is 3. That's the most you can do is 3. Yo, CZ with the 5, thank you.
Entirely whole potatoes. Let's peel back the lid and go inside the factory to see the fascinating process that takes humble
And the only time you ever do 3 is if it's by accident and you grab more than 2
flakes and turns them into the poppable phenomenon we know as Pringles. Flakes for Pringles begin with large batches of high-quality fresh potatoes, and these spuds have a thrilling multi-step journey ahead of them. As soon as they arrive at the factory, they're whisked onto a conveyor belt.
Ugh, look how nasty them things is. Won't you give them a bath or something before you serve these to the public? You're evil. CaseOh with the 5 and confining with the 5 and Scuba with the 5.
This isn't just any rinse, though.
I spoke too soon.
Potatoes are soaked in this large tank, where a hydro washer agitates the water, loosening any dirt and debris clinging to their surfaces.
That's nasty. That looked like some rocks. Maybe it was rocks.
Now squeaky clean, the potatoes are prepped for peeling. To get rid of their skins, the spuds tumble into this large drum lined with a surface that's as rough as very coarse sandpaper.
What?
As they spin and dance around, the abrasive texture
So you skin them alive, you animal?
That might get in the way of a silky smooth Pringle. After shedding their skins, the potatoes are on the move again. This time along this conveyor that leads them to the cutting station.
The what station? They skinned them alive!
But first, they take a quick detour into this blanching bath. This quick dip in hot water does double duty. It not only softens the potatoes to facilitate a smooth, even cut, but also helps inactivate enzymes that could affect the taste and color of the final chip.
Look how cute they are, Chad. They just had a bath.
The machine used to cut the spuds rolls them in this giant cylinder spinning at 1,200 times per minute. As the potatoes reach the top, they come in contact with a blade that slices them. Almost as soon as that happens, the sliced potatoes are cut into strips. Just as quickly, another set of rotating blades chops the strips into little cubes. This blink and you'll miss it process is essential for making the following steps easier. Next, the potato cubes continue traveling along the conveyor until they're dropped onto a separate vibrating belt.
Absolute
The
disgusting
vibrations help to make sure that
monsters!
freshly cut pieces don't clump together, which could cause problems. Several cameras also check for any blemishes or bad
And
spots on
they
the spuds.
filmed it!
To cook them, the cubes are dropped into 185 degrees Fahrenheit boiling water, where they'll stay for about 2 minutes.
Lord
Even
have
though it's a
mercy.
short period, this process helps ensure that potatoes don't turn to mush when they are sent
And
through
then
the
he
giant
ate 'em.
steam cooker. This giant machine then steam cooks the cubes at a temperature of 345 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is horrible. Shark
Now that
Boy with the
spud
5.
cubes are cooked cubes into an impeccably smooth.
Oh, that's straight up just mashed taters right there, chat. That's just straight up what that is.
potato mash.
So literally all these goobers are doing extra work for nothing because all you got to do is go buy some instant mashed potatoes and you're halfway done with the ability to make Pringles now. Like anybody can, y'all sold.
Now, the real magic begins. The prepared potato mash undergoes a significant transformation. Applied uniformly onto this large, rotating drum dryer, the mash is exposed to intense heat. As the drum spins, moisture is quickly evaporated from the mash, forming it into thin and pliable sheets.
That's the potatoes?
This process not only preserves the flavor and quality of the potatoes, but also prepares the dried product for precise milling into the fine
There's
potato
no
flakes.
way. It looked like paper, bruh. That's potato action.
Used for the Pringles dough. Now that the potato sheets are perfectly dried, it's crunch time. They're now turned into the essential building blocks of every Pringle, the potato flakes. The dried sheets are fed through this milling machine, where a series of sharp blades break the sheets down into perfectly proportioned flakes. To the untrained eye, these flakes look like something you'd have for breakfast in the morning or even sand. The next stage is where the whole potatoes begin their transition into the unique base that sets Pringles apart from ordinary potato chips. With our potato flakes at the ready, it's time to bring in the supporting cast of ingredients. In this large mixer, the flakes are combined with water, cornstarch, rice flour, wheat starch, degerminated yellow corn flour, maltodextrin, diglycerides, salt, and emulsifiers, in which ensures the mixture stays fresh and stable throughout the rest of the process.
That's so much stuff.
When the mixture is complete, the potato flake dough will resemble coarse wet sand instead of the dough used for making bread. Next, the dough mixture rides on this conveyor belt that sends it through an auger, which evenly spreads the dough across the conveyor, ensuring that each portion has uniform consistency.
Dude, there ain't no way they turned this into some Pringle action.
Stage for the
There's
perfect
no
rollout.
way. How does that turn into a Pringle, bruh? You know what I mean?
Once evenly spread on the conveyor, the dough continues through this giant roller that presses it with 4 tons of pressure into a long and very thin sheet, just 1 millimeter in thickness. Without knowing that it's actually made from potato flakes, you could very easily mistake it for a giant sheet of paper or linen.
Because it is. That's paper we're eating.
Sheet continues its journey. It's fed into a giant rolling cutter that slices the dough into oval shapes. At this point, the snack begins to resemble the shape millions know it for. Here's a fun fact. Inside the Pringles factory, workers have a playful nickname for these shapes. They call them Doughfuls, a clever twist on the
Fire all of them.
word ovals.
Yo, Adam with the 10 gifted. What's good,
Once the
Adam?
dough has been
Appreciate
cut
you.
into Doughfuls, the remaining unused dough is pulled along by a different belt. Rather than being thrown away, it's recycled and sent back into the mixing stage, ready to be rolled out and shaped once again. This recycling loop is a simple but clever way to minimize
Ain't
waste
nothing clever about that. There's way better ways to do this.
and keep production efficient. As for the oval
Cap.
cut dough, its journey continues towards the fryer, where it will take on its famous saddle shape. While in the fryer, a large roller molds the dough slices into a thin concave shape. Or, if you want to get more technical, this shape is what mathematicians would call a hyperbolic paraboloid. During this process,
Buddy, you a
the
nerd.
Pringles are cooked in hot oil at 392 degrees Fahrenheit for about 11
Yo,
seconds.
CB with the 5.
This step serves two purposes. The first is to lock in their shape, and the second is to give them their
You got them
desired
on
crisp,
chains,
golden
dude, so
finish
you're in
that
prison
sets
and
the
I'm
stage for
on
their
top of
satisfying
everything
crunch.
else.
Now that they're fully cooked, the Pringles are sent through a hot air blower, which gets rid of excess oil and lowers the temperature to about 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is.
Then, the conveyor carries them under a cascade of seasoning that ensures each Pringle gets
I
the
miss Bob
perfect
getting-
amount on the top side. The flavor of the toppings will change depending on the types
No,
of
I
Pringles
didn't.
being made.
Oh, I did egghead with the
From
5
the
as well.
classic
W
tang of
egghead.
sour cream and onion to the
Appreciate
savory
you.
goodness of pizza.
The pizza one's good. Here's the thing, though. The thing with the pizza version, chat, is that if it has two, there's a perfect balance. If it, there, you know, it's bad if there's too much or too less. It has to be right in the middle, or it's bad.
And the rich taste of cheddar cheese.
Those are kind of. I'm not gonna lie. Those are kind of mid right there. Those are actually kind of mid. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Each Pringle is meticulously flavored. Daily, Pringles utilizes more than 5,952 pounds of spices to season its expansive range of 160 flavors.
Look. By the way, best flavor right here. Absolutely. There's no question. There is no question. This the best flavor right here. Period. And honestly, this right here is the second best flavor. So you're looking at number 1 and number 2 right here. Literally. You're looking at number 1, number 2. Straight up. It's undefeated, chat. Sour cream and onions better. Use a lie.
What's your go-to flavor? Drop your favorite in the comments and see who shares your taste. After they've been seasoned, the Pringles are sent along another conveyor belt. Thanks to their unique
Stop
saddle
the
shape,
torture
they naturally fall
already!
into neat piles, simplifying the tasks that lie ahead.
Cuss said neat piles. What's he
Saddle
talking
shape,
about,
they
Chad? Ain't
naturally-
nothing neat about this. Look at all the imbalances. Dude said neat piles. Why are you lying?
Fall into neat piles, simplifying the tasks that lie ahead in the production line. As they continue their journey, a quality control person inspects the Pringles. Specifically, they are looking for any that might have been broken by the process, are under-seasoned, or have any flaws that would drop a Pringle below its desired quality.
You know what's
At this point-
crazy, Chad? Pringles does got their stuff together because you rarely see like a messed up looking Pringles action, bro. No joke. Now, 90% of bags of chips, they all got broken action in there. Now, I understand that the solid shell that holds them, it protects them better, but I don't know.
The Pringles are on their way to being packed into one of the famous canisters. Along the way, they are shaken up a bit by a different conveyor belt.
Yeah, of
to
course they're
ensure
shaking up. Look at everything they've been through, buddy.
the
What you
Pringles
talking about? We
aren't
knew
all
that.
clumped together. The stacks of Pringles are then placed on scales to ensure the proper amount of weight goes into each canister before an automated spoon feeds the stacks into the open
A
end of a canister.
spoon?
Once inside, automated guides tap the closed end of the tube to nudge the Pringles into position. Once the canister
You ain't got to nudge them in position. They know what to do on their own. Stop.
Completely filled with perfectly stacked Pringles, they advance to the sealing station. Here, automated machines precisely
Clank with the
apply
5,
the
thank you.
tear-off freshness seals to the tops of each canister. This ensures that each chip remains perfectly crisp from the factory floor to your first pop of the lid.
I'm going to tell you one thing right here. They need to redo their machine here because half the time when you open one of the seals on the Pringles, it leaves paper behind on the rim of the top of the Pringles can, which is an issue, just saying.
Now, mechanical arms lower the canisters to a
saying.
separate station. Once there, a spinning machine attaches metal bottoms to each can. This final step closes the canisters and seals them tight, locking in the freshness. On the opposite end, the canisters are already fitted with the plastic lid. Did you know that across the globe, Pringles offers its delectable snacks in 5 different canister sizes, catering to all sorts of appetite?
Yo, Common with the 5 gifted. We can't just ignore this. Hello? 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 This is a 2-foot tall can of Pringles. Bro! Maybe 3-foot tall.
Before
CB,
shipping,
thank you.
Pringles undergo a unique quality control test, where flavor experts conduct blind taste tests under red lighting. This setup prevents visual judgments based on the chip's appearance.
Oh, no. Oh, man, that is horrible chip quality right there. Look how, dude, almost every one of these are broken. Look at this. Yo, somebody's got to get fired over this.
Solely on taste. Testers evaluate each Pringle on its doneness, texture, and seasoning by placing it seasoned side up on their tongue and fully experiencing the flavor as they chew.
Seasoned side up?
If
what do you mean?
If a single chip fails, the entire batch that the
There's
Pringle
a
came
seasoned
from
side?
is lost. After passing strict quality control tests for taste, texture, and appearance, Pringles begin their journey to consumers. The canisters are packed into boxes and loaded onto trucks for distribution.
Yo, Chi with the 50 gifted subs, Lord have mercy. Yo, give me some W's for Chi with the 50 gifted. Oh my goodness. Chat, W Chi for real with the 50. I really appreciate that, Chi. Seriously, thank you. W Chi, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
These boxes then travel to distribution centers around the globe before reaching retail stores and supermarkets.
Man,
Pringles
chat,
lovers
Pringles
can
are
always
good, bro.
find
I'm
their
sorry,
favorite
them things
flavors.
good.
So,
And look at all these other goobers copying off of them.
lovers
Look
can
at this.
always find their favorite.
I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Lay's stacks or nothing, because I'm be real with you. Lay's stacks, low-key clear Pringles. But even, you know, Doritos, everything. They started copying them, bruh. Dude, Lay's stack, bro, when I was absolutely disgustingly broke, back when I was first getting my first jobs, every single day, almost, I would get a can of regular Lay's stacks and 2 bowls of noodles from the Dollar General every day. Same thing, Lay's stacks and 2 bowls of noodles. I can't remember what the noodles were called, but it was like, I don't know, they had like I don't know, it was good though.
So, as we can see, despite being thin, slightly potato flavored, and crunchy, Pringles are definitely not potato chips. And if you're in the UK,
yes, they literally
they
are.
aren't exactly crisps either. No matter what you call them, Pringles and their inventors, chemist Fred Bauer and researcher Alexander Lipa, changed the snack industry forever.
They did.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the Pringles factory.
Not gonna lie, that was kind of wholesome. Chat, wasn't that kind of wholesome right there?